So now let me read out question number 6 to you. Question number 6 says a 1.5 meter tall boy is standing at some distance from a 30 meter tall building. The angle of elevation from his eyes to the top of the building increases from 30 degrees to 60 degrees as he walks towards the building. So now from here, if I have to select one reference figure from here, I think I can select this reference figure, because this I can consider it to be a point object, which is a boy, and the boy is moving from B2 towards the building, the bottom of the building, which is D, wherein the angle of elevation of the top of the building changes from 30 degrees to 60 degrees, right? So can I use the same figure? Of course I can use the same figure. So as discussed, once you know these trigonometric ratios, though when you are solving the question anywhere, which is a subjective question, so when you are when you are solving the subjective question, you will have to establish all these first and then put in the values. You cannot directly say that these are the values. Had it been an objective question, you can directly use the values. But here I am just saving time, because we have spent enough time discussing the concepts, how to arrive to these values. So the very first thing that you're going to do here is you'll have to establish all these values. Okay. So now in this case, this is 30, this is 60. If I take this, now this is x root 3, this is x, this hypotenuse becomes 2x. In that case, only this becomes 2x, and in that case, this hypotenuse becomes 2x root 3. Let us just substitute the values and see how easy this question becomes. Okay, so it says find the distance he walked towards the building. That means we are supposed to calculate BD. So you are supposed to calculate BD, and what is known here is the height of the boy is immaterial, because we are considering boy as a point object. So that is just a delusion. They are just trying to mislead you there. So the point to be noted here is the information which is supposed to be used here is 30 meter tall building. So they have already given you the value of AD as, now for us this value is x root 3, which is equal to 30 meters. And we are supposed to calculate BD. So as per us, BD is 3x. So can we get the value of x from here? X is nothing but 30 divided by root 3 meters. Either I use it as it is, or I can just rationalize the denominator, which is just like saying multiplying the numerator and denominator by root 3. In that case, root 3 into root 3 becomes 3. And we'll be able to say this is nothing but 10 root 3. And what were we supposed to calculate? We were supposed to calculate the length, that the distance that the boy is supposed to cover from this point to this point, which is BD, which is 3x. So in this case, this becomes 30 root 3 meters. Right? Let's move on to question number 7. So question number 7 says, from a point on the ground, the angles of elevation of the bottom and the top of a transmission tower fixed at the top of a 20-meter high building are 45 degrees and 60 degrees respectively. So we need to find the height of the tower. So it says from a point on the ground here, now this is a building, on the building is a tower which is placed, right? So the bottom of the tower is at B. This is the point that I have taken. The bottom of the tower, the angle of elevation is 45 degrees, and the top of the tower, which is point A in this case, from a point on the ground which is D, is 60 degrees. So I have taken the vertices as A, B, C, D. Now if I talk about this triangle, the triangle that I am talking about here is triangle BDC. This is just like saying a 45, 45 and a 90 degrees. So here we can consider this to be a 90 degrees. In that case, this becomes 45 degrees. So we can simply use x root 2. So x and x root 2 is what we have used. Talking about the triangle ADC, now this is 60 degrees, this is 90 degrees, and angle A here would be 30 degrees. So now using the 30-60-90 matrix, so I can say the side opposite to 30 degrees should be x. In that case, the side opposite to 60 degrees becomes x root 3. So AC becomes x root 3, right? DC is x, AD in that case, now this is the entire triangle that we are talking about. So AD becomes how much? So AD would, in any case, if I talk about a 60 degrees, so AD becomes 2x, the side opposite to 90 degrees in a 30, 60, 90 becomes 2x. Okay, BC is x. How much is DB? DB is x root 2. Now what are they asking you to find out? They are asking you to find out the height of the tower. So the height of the tower in this case is AB. So AB can be written as AC minus BC. So how much is AC? X root 3. How much is BC? X. So eventually you can write it as x times of root 3 minus 1. Now you need to know the value of x. Now what is x? The height of the building. So what is the height of the building in this case? The height of the building is given to you as 20 meters. So if this is given to you as 20 meters, though we can find out each and every value here. This is 20 root 3 meters. This is 20 meters. This becomes 40 meters. And this becomes 20 root 2 meters. But we are not interested in any of these. We are just interested in this and this. So substituting the value of x as 20, can I say that the height of the tower would be 20 times of root 3 minus 1 meters? Hope you have understood. So you will also see now that these triangles are really helpful in solving almost all the questions on heights and distances of this exercise. Let's move on to the next question. So talking about question number 8, let me first read out the question to you. It says a statue which is 1.6 meters tall stands on the top of a pedestal. From a point on the ground, the angle of elevation of the top of the statue is 60 degrees, and from the same point, the angle of elevation of the top of the pedestal is 45 degrees. Find the height of the pedestal. So you will see more or less question number 7 and 8 are the same because they're going to use the same figure. So what I'm saying here is, now let us see, DC is the height of the pedestal and AD is the height of the statue. The angle of elevation that is made for the top of the pedestal is 45 degrees, and the angle of elevation, because this is the point of observation, B is the point of observation. So from B, the angle of elevation of the top of the pedestal is 45 degrees, and the angle of elevation of the top of the statue is 60 degrees. So again, so if I take this as x, I hope now you would understand because we are using the same diagram. Okay, now what are we supposed to find out? Find the height of the pedestal. We are supposed to find out DC. And what is known here is a statue which is 1.6 meters tall. So this is already given. So can I say x times of root 3 minus 1 is equal to 1.6 meters? Now rather than taking this in the denominator, if I have to rationalize, because I know that this goes in the denominator only. So can I multiply both the sides by or with root 3 minus 1? Yes, when I do this, I get this as x times of, I'm sorry, you had to multiply both the sides with root 3 plus 1. So in that case, you get this as 1.6 times of, this is root 3 plus 1. So in that case, the value of x comes out to be, now root 3 whole square is 3, 3 minus 1 is 2. So 0.8 times of root 3 plus 1, which can be further written as 0.8 is 4 by 5 of root 3 plus 1 meters. So this is your final answer. Right? Let's move on to question number 9. In question number 9, they say that the angle of elevation of the top of a building from the foot of a tower is 30 degrees and the angle of elevation of the top of the tower from the foot of the building is 60 degrees. Okay, so the angle of elevation of the tower from a building is greater than the angle of elevation of the building from the tower. So we need to understand height of which would be greater. So the diagram that you can think of is either you can keep building here, tower here, or you can keep tower here and building here. But in that case, it should match up with the language given in the question first. Second, the angle of elevation, as you turn this higher, it becomes closer to 90 degrees. So naturally, when it says that the angle of elevation of the tower from the foot of the building is 60 degrees and the angle of elevation of the top of the building from the foot of the tower is 30 degrees, naturally you come to know that the tower is having a greater height as compared to the height of the building. Okay, so we plot, we get a ratio 30, 60, 90. So we can use the same. So what I have done here is perpendicular, base and hypotenuse. So if I talk about triangle DCB, the angle opposite to 30 degrees, let's say if this is the side opposite to 30 degrees, if this is x, the side opposite to this, which is the base, becomes x root 3. In that case, the hypotenuse is 2x. Okay, talking about the triangle ACD, the angle opposite to 60 degrees, now which is the perpendicular here, AB, the side opposite to 60 degrees is AB, which is perpendicular, should be x root 3. In that case, the base is x and the hypotenuse is 2x. Now when we see this, we see that the base in both the triangles is the same, but when we see the lengths, the exact lengths, they are different. So how do we make them equal? We make them equal by multiplying this with root 3. Now when I multiply this entire with root 3, I get the perpendicular as 3x, the base as x root 3 and the hypotenuse here as 2x root 3. So let us substitute the values now. Now the base in both the triangles will be x root 3, which is common to both. Now in this case, the perpendicular of DCB is x, the perpendicular of the other is 3x. So if I just draw a line parallel to CB and label this as E, in that case we will be able to understand that only if I talk about EB will be x and AE becomes equal to 2x, because this entire length is 3x. In that case, now this hypotenuse would be 2x, and this hypotenuse that we are talking about, which is triangle ACB, will be 2x root 3. Let us see what is the information given in the question and what is the information that they are seeking. Okay, if the tower is 50 meters high, find the height of the, if the tower is 50 meters high, find the height of the building. The tower is 50 meters high, so AB is nothing but the height of the tower, which is given to us as 50 meters. So now this is nothing but 3x, so the value of x comes out to be how much? 50 by 3 meters, which is nothing but the height of the building. So you are supposed to find out the height of the building, which is DC, which is 50 by 3, which can also be written as 16 2 by 3 meters. So you would see that with the help of 30, 60, 90, the cases that we had talked about, solving the question becomes quite easier. Okay, let's move on to question number 10. Question number 10 says, two poles of equal heights are standing opposite each other on either side of the road, which is 80 meter wide, and from a point in between on the road, the angle of elevation of the two poles is 60 degrees and 30 degrees respectively. Find the height of the poles and the distance of the point from the poles. So this is what it is given. Okay, so I have taken the road as BD. Okay, the height of the poles we know is equal, so AB is equal to ED. So now using the same 30, 60, 90 triplet. So now if I talk about triangle ABC, the side opposite to 60 degrees is x root 3. In that case, the base becomes x and the hypotenuse is 2x. Talking about the triangle ECD, the side opposite to 30 degrees, if it is x, now it cannot be x, now it has to be x root 3 because both these heights are equal. So we will do what is, we will multiply now. So we have what, the side opposite to 30 degrees is x. So multiply all these values with x root 3. So this becomes x root 3. This becomes what? So this is 2x. Okay. So now this is x root 3. So this becomes x root 3. This becomes 3x and this becomes 2x root 3. Can I say that? Okay. So if this is x root 3, this becomes 3x and this becomes 2x root 3. Now in this case, the road is how much? The width of the road is 4x, which is already given to you as 80 meters. So from here you get the value of x as 20. Now what is x? So can I find out BC, which is x, right? Can I find out CD, which is 3x? Yes, I can. So this we are able to find it out as 20 meters, and this in any case becomes 60 meters. So this is what they were asking for. One of the information, this point is 60 meters from this pole, and this point is 20 meters from this pole. At the same time, they are talking about the height of the pole as well. So the height of the pole is nothing but AB is equal to ED, which is nothing but x root 3. Now substituting the value of x as 20, we get it as 20 root 3 meters. Right, moving on to the next question, which is question number 11. So in question number 11, it says a TV tower stands vertically on a bank of a canal. From a point on the other bank directly opposite to the tower, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower is 60 degrees. From another point 20 meters away from the point of line joining this point to the foot of the tower, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower is 30 degrees, which you can always refer to the figure because the figure is given to you. So this is a kind of a safe question wherein the figure is given to you. Find the height of the tower and the width of the canal. Okay. So what I have done here is I have just drawn the diagram and I have just put the values. What are the values? If I talk about the triangle, so I am just using the values from here. So x root 3, the side opposite to 60 degrees, x root 3, in that case BC becomes x, and the hypotenuse, which is the line of sight of the top, becomes 2x. Now the side opposite, if I talk about the triangle ADB, the side opposite to 30 degrees should be x, but this perpendicular is going to be the same. So we will what do is, for 30 degrees we multiply all these with x root 3. So in that case this becomes x root 3, which we wanted. This becomes 3x, so the entire length becomes 3x. In that case BC becomes as 2x, and the hypotenuse, then you could have taken it as 2x into root 3, which is 2x root 3. So let us see what is the piece of information given in the question. It says DC is equal to 20 meters, and as per us DC is equal to 2x. In that case the value of x comes out to be 10 meters. So which is BC? So BC is equal to x, which is equal to 10 meters. AB is the height of the tower or the pole, which is x root 3, which is 10 root 3 meters. Let us see what are they asking for. They are asking for find the height of the tower. The height of the tower is AB, which is x root 3, which in this case becomes 10 root 3 meters, and then the width of the canal. Okay, so now when we talk about the width of the canal, what is the width of the canal in this case? Can we say it is 10 meters? Because it says a TV tower stands vertically on the bank of a canal and from a point on the other bank, right? So can we say that the width of the canal here is 10 meters? Okay, fair enough.